Hi everyone, today we're going to be talking about fertilizing. It's really important to fertilize your plants in early spring. They're all coming back to life now and they need to be fed. So there's different types of fertilizers. Here you have an organic fertilizer by Espoma, plant tone. They have plant tone, holly tone, biotone, all kinds of different tones. And this is organic. Of course there's other brands also. Then here we have a slow release fertilizer, which is not organic, and then I'll explain that later. And then we have liquid fertilizer that you can use also. So in the past I've always used the slow release fertilizer, and they've worked okay, I guess. I'm not great. I mean, I usually always fertilize when I plant something new, but then I forget to fertilize. That's one of the things that I really have to keep on top of and hope that I'll get a better result by doing that. So with time released fertilizer, it releases, for about 3 months. I think the normal is usually 3 months. It could go up to 6 months, I guess, with some of them. So you don't have to apply every month. With this particular organic plant tone organic fertilizer, you have to apply every month. So it is a little bit more of a job. For this is what I used last year, and it's a 10-10-10. So that means 10% nitrogen, 10% phosphate, and 10% potassium. There's different, I can't think of it. Different numbers. They all use different numbers. So I heard through through my research that 10-10-10 was a good one for all your plants. So I was using that, and I got mixed results. I don't know if it was because of the nutrient, the fertilizer, or because of other factors. I mean, it could be a lot of things when your plants don't do well. It can be a lot of different things. It could be light. Usually it's light, water, or fertilizer, right? So I decided this year to try the plant tone, and in the demonstration you'll be seeing me apply the plant tone to the plants. Now I suggest you read the instructions on the back and you try to follow them as best as possible. With the plant tone, it says that you have to apply every month. It's also stinky. I could smell it from here. And for just regular perennials, flowers, and vegetables, you put 1 cup per plant, which seems like a lot, and you have to put it around the drip line. So the drip line is the edge. So here's your root ball, then you have the edge, here's your plant, this is the drip line. So you would not apply it close to the base of the plant, you would apply it in the drip line, which is something new to me. I always applied it close to the baseline, thinking it would get to the roots better there. But you're supposed to apply it in the drip line. So I wanted to see. So the 10-10 fertilizer doesn't say anything about the drip line. And let's see, and the Miracle-Gro, of course, is liquid. So with the Miracle-Gro, you can see the numbers a lot higher. Let's see. Okay, so here, Miracle-Gro, this one is 24, 8, and 16. So it's very high in nitrogen, kind of in phosphate, and then potassium is 16. And I'm not quite sure at this moment, but one of them is good for the roots, the other one is good for the flower. The nitrogen, the high nitrogen, is really for leaf growth. So sometimes if you use the high nitrogen one, you get a lot of leaf growth but no flowers. So it's kind of a delicate dance with that. So as far as whether going organic or not, really that's up to you. I would like to go organic, but I think perhaps for the veg bed it's a little bit more important. But honestly, for the veg bed, I've been using the Miracle-Gro just because that's what I had, and I just decided to use that. And for the Miracle-Gro, you have to apply, I think it's every 7 to 14 days. So this one is, you use this often too. It's a lot easier though. I have to say the plant tone, after I did the demonstration, it was a lot of work because basically you have to get down on your knees, move the mulch, apply the fertilizer, and then put the mulch back, and then go to the next plant. And so if you have a lot of plants, it's a lot of work. I did my holly and my viburnum, and I just kind of pretty much up also. Maybe a little bit more because they're bushier for sure. For the shrubs, I did my holly and my viburnum, and I just kind of pretty much did a cup also. Maybe a little bit more because they're bushier for sure. They're larger plants. But yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say about the fertilizer. If you're really bent on using organic, then definitely, I have been seeing this Espoma fertilizer being used a lot on, other gardeners use them. There's other brands, of course, that you can try, but it seems to be the one to use. And then I did buy bone meal last year because my plants weren't flowering, especially in the front garden, which I haven't done the front yard tour yet because it's just really sunny and I just don't like the idea of my neighbors seeing me do it. So I will do it though. But I wanted to add bone meal because I watched a video that explained everything about nitrogen, phosphate and potassium, and explained which one you needed for flowering, and this was what they said, to use bone meal. But it also helps, I know that the bone meal also helps with root development, so it's not a bad thing to put on plants that you just planted. Also, as a matter of fact, I think in fall I put some bone meal in my shrubs, my viburnum and my 2 hollies, because I wanted them to develop a good root system so they would survive the winter. So yeah, so I think that's it about fertilizer. If you have any questions, add some comments. I will try to answer as best I can. Again, I'm not an expert, but this is what I know up to today. So this year is going to be a learning year too. One thing I want to say is, so there's another gardener that I follow, Horttube. He uses organic too, but he broadcasted it. So he kind of grabbed a bunch, in his, you have to wear gloves because it's really stinky. And he just kind of threw it, broadcast. He used only plant tone. So he was saying how you really don't need to use holly tone or those other ones, because if your soil is already acidic, then you don't really need it. If you're trying to make it more acidic, then you would need to use the holly tone. But if your plants are happy, even if they're acid-loving plants, it probably means that you have a little bit of acid in your soil and they're happy. So I know sometimes you add it if you want to get, this was when I lived in the Northeast, but if you want to get those blue flower heads from the hydrangeas, if you want to, I think they normally go pink, but if you add more and more acid, they get blue. So in that case, you would have to add the holly tone or something similar to that. So hopefully this will kind of explain things. Again, the Miracle-Gro, the water, you just, mix it with water and you, water your garden as usual. They also have a version that you can attach to your hose, so it's really easy. You just, I think I first bought this because my mother and my uncle really had green thumbs and they used Miracle-Gro all the time. So I thought this was a solution, but with further research, I decided to try other things and see what happens. That's it. So now I'll show you my demonstration. I'm just going to fertilize maybe 2 or 3 bushes. I think 2 perennials and a ginger, just because gingers are a little bit different. Honestly, I don't know what the drip line is for the ginger, so I kind of guessed on that. But anyway, hope that you learned something, and if you are liking these videos, please subscribe. Okay, thank you, and I will see you next time. Okay, so here I'm going to be fertilizing my plants. I'm going to move the mulch, or in this case the leaves or mulch, move it kind of away. You want to, I'm using Plant Tone, which is an organic fertilizer. It says to use a cup per plant. So you want to not put it around the base of the plant. You want to put it on the drip line, which is the outer, you know, wherever the branches go, the outer edge. So here it would be kind of where I moved the mulch back. This particular fertilizer, a lot of people use it. I have not used it before, so I want to try it, assuming they know what they're doing. Many gardeners that I follow use it, so, but you have to fertilize once a year, or sorry, once a month. Oh God, this just broke. So I'm guessing, oops, I'm gonna have to get another one. I'm gonna put it around, and it seems like a lot, but that's what it says. Okay, and then you kind of work it into the soil a little bit. It really stinks, but it's okay. Okay, and then cover it with the mulch again. So this is the time to fertilize once you start to see new growth, which this one I really haven't seen new growth, but I do see from that area little buds. So it's alive, and there's one here. You could see it's red, which is the first time I'm gonna see flowers on it. I'm really excited. Okay. So I just wanted to bring to your attention, this is actually Echinacea, or a purple cornflower. It really hasn't, it has a little tiny bit of new growth, but I think I'm going to wait till I see like a couple leaves before I fertilize this. I'm afraid to fertilize it too soon, so maybe this is one that really needs consistent heat. And even though we've passed our frost date and we've had definitely weeks of 80s, we just had 2 days of 50s and 60s, so maybe it's not quite ready to emerge yet. So I'm going to wait to fertilize this till later. Okay, so this is the Porterweed, which definitely has new growth. So I'm going to do the same for all my perennials. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm only going to show you these two and the ginger, but I just wanted you to see how I moved back the mulch again. And this one, that's not good. This one is pretty big. So I'm going to go out there because it's a pretty big plant, at least it was. I'm kind of guessing that's about a cup. And I'm going to go around. I guess I could purchase a cup, measuring cup too, but I don't think you need to be that precise, as long as you don't, do it too much. Okay, work it in again, just a little bit.
It now, really stinks.
This is honestly new to me. I think in the past I've always fertilized closer to the rootstock, I guess. But I heard it in a video, and I also, if you read the instructions on the package, it tells you on the drip line. So that's what I'm doing. I'm being more careful this year and hoping to discover perhaps mistakes that I've made in the past. Okay.
So wait, for a beginner, what exactly is the drip line?
So the drip line, like I explained before, it's like the line where it bushes out. So this was pretty big.
Okay.
It was probably about this big. So that's why I put it here.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I would have put it here, it would have been really close to the root. I mean, right now it's really small, but I know that it grows this big. And it might even grow larger. This is not an evergreen, so you don't have the... It's supposed to be semi-evergreen, but it died completely. I don't know if it's because of our winter was kind of bad this year. Although I don't think it was that bad. But anyway, very important, fertilize your plants. If you do get an organic fertilizer, read the instructions. This one says that you have to reapply every month. So read the instructions. Don't make assumptions like I did. So you apply it at the right time, the right place, and the number of times that you need to do it in the season. So I wanted to show one other plant that I'm going to fertilize, which is the ginger, which honestly I probably should have looked it up. So what is the drip line of the ginger? This was in a pot, so really it was just here. So, but these things grow, I mean, pretty big. So I think I'm just going to move the mulch back. Oops, look what I did. Oh, gently. I just killed one of the buds, or one of the, and you could see it's got a whole bunch of new growth. Over here, back there, here, there, although I just messed that one up. Here, so this is really happy. It's got new growth out of this old one. So I'm going to be careful, and it's kind of hard to figure out what the drip line for this is, so I am just going to put it out like the other ones just to be safe. So same thing around what I think might be the drip line. And somehow this gets to the roots easier than putting it on the root ball, which is, yeah. Okay, and you can see where I got poked by the porterweed. Oh, that happens all the time. Okay, and then just cover it with whatever mulch you have. And I'm not covering the crowns because we're past the frost date, so we don't have to worry. If for some reason we were to get a weird snap, you know, below 32, then I might cover this or I would definitely probably put all the leaves on the crown and maybe even cover it to protect it. Because this is kind of tropical plant, so you know, I would not want to lose it. Semi-tropical, I think. Okay, so I'm going to continue to fertilize the rest of my plants. I won't make you watch it because it's basically the same process over and over again. And that's it, I think. See you next time. Bye.